Hi everybody, my name is Matt. Today I'm going to show you how to build one of these benches out of one piece of wood. It's a 2 by 10 by 12 that you can get from the hardware store for about $15, and the only other things you'll need is a drill, a jigsaw, and some 3-inch screws. It only takes about a half an hour to put together, so let's get to work. So even though this is board is 10 by 12 by 2. It's 10 inches wide, but that is before it's dried. Which after it's dried brings it about to 9 3/8. We're going to just round down to 9 1/4 and it'll be just fine. So the parts we're going to need to cut, we're going to need 3 12-inch blocks for each side, and then 2 of 9 1/4 inch for the base, which is going to leave us about 4.5 foot left for our seating area. So to measure this out, first I'm going to start with our 9 1/4 inch pieces. I'm going to use a red pen because I already had this marked up before I decided to do the 12-inch bases. Pencil is just fine, of course, you can erase it if you need to. I like to use a square because it keeps my lines a little straighter. So the first ones I'm going to measure out are going to be 9 1/4 inch. Just make sure that you're square on the wood there. 9 1/4. Do another 9 1/4 here. Make sure you're square. Now we're going to do a 12-inch. Remember, we need 6 12-inch cuts. Now I know I said earlier that you can do this with just a jigsaw. If you have a table saw, or excuse me, circular saw for this part, it's much easier. The only reason why you need the jigsaw later is to cut out the sections in the legs, which I'll show you when we get to that part. But if you have a circular saw, it's much easier at this point. And remember, always wear your safety glasses. Make your mama proud. Alright, now what we need to do on these legs is we need to cut a 6-inch section out of the middle. So we're going to find our middle, should be right around 4.5 inches just over. To that on both sides here. Make a line. Now this is where we get really technical. Basically, what you're going to do, just kind of line it up there. Get that line in the center. And make sure it's centered in the back as well. And draw your lines. And then we're going to go 6 inches deep on it. Alright, so this is what we're going to do on all of them. If you can see it, we're going to cut out this section right here. That's what we're going to cut out. So we need to do that on all 4 legs. So I just looked at the camera and realized you probably couldn't see. I think I had the block a little too low. So, I don't know if this helps, there's enough light, but you can see right through here is where we're going to cut out. Okay, what I've done now is got this clamp down here, and I'm going to cut this piece out right here. And I know I talked about using my jigsaw. I'm going to start with a circular saw just because it's a little bit quicker to get in there, and then we're going to make our cut around here to get this piece out. So remember, always wear your safety glasses. Let's go ahead and make these cuts. Now we're going to finish this out with our jigsaw. And there you have it. Got our block right here. And so now we need to do this to all 4 legs. Alright, so we have all our legs cut out now. And this is how they go together. Pretty simple. Just throw it on just like that. And then what we do, this is going to be the base for our bench. Just like that. We're going to screw it together, and that'll pretty much be 1 leg. Alright, so I'm going to do fairly simple. Just line these up right here. That one's good. We'll take our drill, and I'm using a 1/8 inch drill bit here. I'm going to drill some pilot holes. Just kind of eyeball it. Then I've got some 3-inch screws here. I'm going to sink these in. Sounds like my battery might be about to die here. battery. Alright, I got a new battery in my drill, got these installed, and you know, I've only got one screw for each piece, but they're 3-inch screws, and you can see they go down pretty deep, so that's gonna hold it in there. One seems to be just fine from the other benches I've made. Now the next step, what we're gonna do is put on our base. It's gonna be this. I'm gonna flip these over, and what you're gonna want to look for is, this is the smooth side. This is the side that I cut. And what you're going to want to do is line this up. So whichever side you're going to want the bench on, you know, probably the smooth side that you're sitting, not the cut part. So we want our legs going out like this. So we're going to have the smooth part lining up on the bench right there. I don't know if that really makes sense or not, but it's basically going to sit like that, so you're not going to have your cut something like that. I think it just looks a little bit better. Alright, and you know what, I'm just going to eyeball this. And let's see here. And we're overlapping about an inch. Well, it'll be about 1.5 inches on either side. So we'll drill our pilot holes here. Alright. So here's this one. It's going to sit like that. Should be sturdy enough, so we'll go ahead and finish that up on the other side too. Alright, so this is where we're at here. We have our 2 legs, and remember we've got the part that extends out on either side. It's going to be our front and back to keep it from rocking as much. And what we're going to want to do is find a spot to install it. I think on my other ones I did about 8 inches. It's up to you, just kind of whatever looks good to you. Go ahead, and this bench is a little bit shorter than the ones I've done. I'll probably do about 6 inches. So go ahead, line it up at 6 inches, make sure everything's straight. Then we're going to drill some pilot holes for our bolts. Okay, so I measured out the legs to about 6 inches on either side here. And now what we're going to do is we're just going to mark and drill some holes for our bolts. Now, what I've done before, you just line it up right here. Try to make it square with your base in this piece. And if you can see, I've got a little hole just right in here. So, I'm just going to use that as my guide for all of the holes. And one thing, using this square I messed up on my other bench was because this side and this side are 2 different legs, so I went like that and it wasn't the correct size. So make sure you're measuring the exact same way every time. Alright, so I have everything marked here. Got little red dots each side, and I've got a 3/8 inch bolt, so I'm going to use a 3/8 inch wood drill bit. I'm just going to drill our holes straight through here. Remember, make sure you wear your safety glasses. Alright, got them all drilled out. So I'm just going to drop the bolts in here. These are carriage bolts. They cost, I think these ones are about 42 cents a piece, something like that. And then, maybe a little bit off right there. There we go, easy fix. So they're about 42 cents a piece, and then I've got a pack of just nuts, washers, and lock washers. All we got to do is tighten it down and call it complete, unless you want to throw a stain on it. Alright, so we have our bolts in, nuts are all tightened down. That's it right there. Costs about $20 to make, about $15 for the wood, about $3 or $4 for the bolts, $2.50 for the nuts and washers. All you need is a jigsaw and a drill, and a great little bench for out by fireplace, the garden, patio. Easy to make, about half an hour with jigsaw and a drill. If you have any comments, suggestions, let me know. Otherwise, enjoy.